What up, YouTube? Thank you for tuning in. Today, we're gonna work on a new beat from scratch. None too fancy, it's just a demonstration for those of you who don't know how to play an instrument, but determined to make your own music, to produce your own music. Um, if you're willing to follow these few steps that I'm going to show you, I promise you, you will be making music in no time. Let's go. Right now, let's go ahead and launch Pro Tools. Okay. When you launch Pro Tools, you will be presented with this dashboard where we're gonna need to make a few changes. Okay, first we're gonna change the name of our project. That'll be the first step that we're gonna do. We're gonna change the name of our projects, and this one I'm just gonna name it how to make a beat. And we're gonna make sure that we select our local storage session, so that way we can save everything in the computer and not in the cloud. And then we're gonna move down to these few settings here that we gotta make some changes, just in case if yours doesn't look the same as mine. We're gonna look at the file type. We're gonna make sure that wave is selected. So these settings, I'd like to brush on them just a little bit so you can have a general idea exactly what they are for. So what is a wave file? A wave file is a lossless audio that does not compress the original audio from its source. Pro Tools also use AIFF file type, which stands for audio interchange file format. So these are the two most popular uncompressed audio file formats out there. Now let's go to our sample rate. We're gonna make sure that we select 48K. You can choose from 44.1 kilohertz all the way up to 192 kilohertz. But like I said before, most audio engineers use 48K as a sweet spot, as it retains more than enough audio information needed for mixing. So now we're gonna go ahead and go down to bit depth. We're gonna choose 24-bit for our setting today. What is bit depth? Bit depth is basically the amplitude or dynamic range or loudness, if you will, that is recorded for each sample rate. Sample rate is the most important factor in the recording process, as long as the bit depth is reasonable. Me personally, I use a sample rate of 48K with a bit depth of 24-bit, which is my preference. So now let's go ahead and go across to our I/O settings. The I/O settings is an abbreviation for input and output. It works just like an outboard device, such as an audio interface that has inputs for instruments like guitars or mics, as well as outputs for your speaker monitors, so you can hear what you're doing. I like to choose stereo mix every time that I'm making a new beat for a fresh start. Now, inner leave, we want to make sure that we put a check mark on the inner leave box, because the inner leave, it keeps our left and right channel together as one stereo data. So when you bounce your project, if you leave it unchecked, then you will end up with a left and right channel separately, so you're gonna want to check the inner leave box. Last but not least, the location as to where we want to save our projects. So this is your option now to choose exactly where you want to save your project. That way you can retrieve it later. So let's go ahead and hit create. Now Pro Tools give us a brand new or empty page. This is our edit window. This is where we're going to create our tracks, so we can put our instruments. We're gonna try to use the mouse as minimal as possible. So we're gonna go ahead and use key commands for pretty much everything that we need to do. So in order for us to create a brand new track, so if we were to use our mouse, we would go to track and then we would click new. But as you can see right across from it, it gives us the key commands that you can use to create a new track. So let's just use that. We're gonna hit the shift and commands and then N to create our new track. So now we want to go ahead and create multiple tracks right now. So I'd like to create, let's just say, maybe 6 tracks. So I'm just going to hit number 6, and I'd like to put all of them stereo. We're going to hit the commands button, and then we're going to hit the left arrow key to change it to stereo. And then we want to, while we're holding the command key, we're going to hit the bottom arrow button so we can change it to instrument track. Alright, and now we're going to go ahead and hit enter. So now we have 6 tracks. We're going to go ahead and change the names of those tracks just so we can keep our session, you know, very organized, so that way we know exactly where we are. So we're going to double click on the first track. I like to put my drum set, you know, in the top track. So I'm just going to name this one kick, and then I will hit the command button, and then I will use the right arrow key. Will take me to my next track. And then I want to name this one snare, and then command right arrow, and the next one I'd like to name it hi-hat. Okay, command right arrow key to go to the next track. The next one I would like to, let's just say, bass. Okay, because I like to keep my bass with my drum set. So command right arrow key to go to our next track. So let's go ahead and put a piano in this one here, and then command right arrow, and this one I just put a guitar there. Okay, now that we've done, so notice that all the tracks are selected. So now we want to hit the option button and then click one track, so that way we can, you know, unselect them. Now I have a pattern in my head. It is a piano pattern. So because it is a piano pattern, so I want to go ahead and start with my piano first, because that's the pattern I have in my head. So once you lay that track down, then you can go ahead and add anything else to it. So we want to go ahead and go to the insert, and we're going to insert a virtual instrument there. So insert, and we're going to go down to multi-channel plugin, and then we're going to go down to instrument, and then we're going to choose one of these right here. So I'm going to choose expand. Expand is by far the best virtual instrument there is in Pro Tools. That's what we have, and that's what we're going to use right now. But expand is pretty good, so it does the job, it gets the job done, so there's no complaint there. Now we're going to go ahead and choose a piano sound. Let's go ahead and click that arrow there so we can choose our piano sound. So where are you? So we got electric piano, we got an acoustic piano. So let's try the electric piano first. So I'm gonna click the first one and see how it sounds, if I like it. Now make sure to arm the record button so that way we can hear what we are doing. Okay, so let's change it to something else. Okay, I like this one. I like this one. So the pattern that I have in my head, so like I said, this video is for those of you who doesn't know how to play an instrument. So I'm not gonna go ahead and use all my fingers, but I will use just one finger. Now as long as you can identify sounds, like if you hit a wrong note, if you can determine that it is a wrong note, this is an A+ right there. That means you're gonna make life a whole lot easier for you when you're making your music. But if you cannot tell a wrong note from a right note, then it's going to be a little bit harder for you. So let's see, I got okay, so that's the pattern right there. Let's go ahead and change our tempo. We're gonna go ahead and create a click track to give us a tempo to follow. So for this one, I don't think there is a command key for it, so we're gonna hit track and we're gonna go all the way down, and then we're gonna create a click track. So click track for all the way in the bottom. Now we want to go ahead and put it all the way on the top. So we're just gonna click it and drag it up there. Come on, talk with me. Click it, drag it up there, and then it's up here. So now let's see what kind of tempo we got working with here. So we're gonna go ahead and activate our record button. We're gonna enable record button and then click play. That's what we got. So okay, that's a little bit too slow. Now we're gonna hit Command Z to undo that. Now we're gonna go ahead and fix our tempo. Now we can hit Option and number 2 to bring up the tempo window. We can easily go right there where it says tempo, and then we can click the signs, the plus signs, and it's gonna take us there. Or we can just hit the option number 2 and it's gonna bring that same window to us just for a little bit, just to be faster. And we're gonna say okay, so, and enter. Now let's try it again. Okay, so we're gonna stop there. Notice this whole time I am playing with just one finger, so which means even if you don't have the experience to play with all your fingers, you can just use one finger and you will make some nice beat, and I will show you how you can get that done. Okay, so now we're gonna go ahead and play what we have recorded already and see and hear how it sounds. Okay, I like what I'm hearing, so let's go ahead and quantize it a little bit so it could everything could fall right on point. So we're going to highlight all of our notes. We're gonna hit Option and number 0. It's going to bring us the event operation, and we're gonna make sure that quantize is selected. There, quantize is selected. It is selected, and then we're gonna hit apply. Now make sure that it is on 1/16th note. That should make our music sound a little bit more on beat. So let's try it again. Okay, so that sounds good. Now you notice that I hit a wrong note. See, this is exactly what I was talking about earlier. So to take care of that, you don't necessarily have to redo everything all over again. Simply hit Control and equal button, and then it's going to bring you to the MIDI editor screen. Let's make sure that we open it up real nice and wide. We're going to perform 2 tasks in here. While everything is still highlighted, we're gonna make sure that we bring up all the velocities of every keys that we play, so that way all of them has the same loudness. So one is not softer than the other. So we're gonna go ahead and select one of those little heads right there of the velocity volume, and then we're gonna bring all of them up at the same time. So now let's click anywhere on the screen to unselect everything. So now we gotta look to see where we hit that wrong note. I'm pretty sure it's probably right there. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and play it. There we go. So that's our wrong note right there. So we make sure that it's highlighted, and then we hit the backspace button to remove that. So now everything is perfect. Okay, everything sounds pretty good. Let's go ahead and hit the Control equal button again to bring us back to our edit window. Now that we have our pattern laid down, now we can add our kick drum to it. We can add our snare, we can add our hi-hat, and then so that our music can start taking shape. So let's go to the insert area. We're going to put a virtual instrument there. We're going to go down to instruments, and then we're going to go ahead and choose expand again. So we're going to go ahead and choose a kick drum. Now let's go ahead and look for a drum set, drums, and we're going to go down here. We're going to kicks menu. Let's select that. And let's make sure that we enable the record button for the drum. Let's see. Okay, let's play this so we can see exactly what we want to do here. Okay, now if you notice that there's a little latency in it, you want to go ahead and hit setting, and then let's go to playback engine, and then there we can change the buffer size. Now the reason why it is on 1024 samples is because I was just playing back and working with some mixing. So when we're recording, especially when it's come to instruments or vocals, for everything to sound on point, we want to make sure we choose a smaller sample buffer size. So my preference is around 128, so which is perfect for me. So I'll just choose 128 and then hit OK. Now everything should sound pretty nice. I like that. Okay, let's try again. Okay, I like that pattern, so let's go ahead and put it down. We're going to hit number 3 in our numeric keypad to enable recording. There we go. There you go. Okay, now let's go ahead and play back and hear how it sounds. Okay, that sounds good. Now we're going to highlight it. Let's go ahead and bring our event operation window so we can quantize this a little bit so it could sound right on the grid. Now for that, again, we're gonna hit the option. We're gonna hit our option key and 0. That's going to bring us to our event operation window. And then with the quantize selected, now we just hit apply. So that should help our beat to sound a little bit better. Let's go ahead and play it again. So I like that. Now, one last step I'd like to take is to go to our MIDI editor window so we can make sure that all the velocities of every kick is at the same dynamic, the same loudness. So to go there, again, remember it is control, and then we're gonna hit the plus and equal button, and then it's gonna take us to the MIDI editor window. From there, let me go ahead and get this out of the way. From there, we can just take one of these little hands there, and then we click, and then we go all the way up with it. And that should bring the velocities up for every single one of them. Now, when you play it, so everything sounds the same. Let's go ahead and hit control and plus sign again. Now we can add our snare. the music starting to take shape. Now let's go to our insert, and then we're going to multi-channel plugin, and we're gonna go to instruments, and we're gonna choose expand again. And now let's go to let's see if we can pick up a snare. Go down to drum, and we're gonna choose the snares menu right there. Let's see what we got. Well, let's just make sure that our record button is enabled. Okay, I like that. So let's go ahead and record this. Let's hit number 3 to record it. Let's go ahead and select it, and we want to go ahead and bring our event operation window up. So let's go ahead and hit option. We're gonna hit option 0, and then we already have our settings. We're gonna hit apply. Okay, I like that. So while it's still highlighted, let's go ahead and bring our MIDI editor windows up so we can go ahead and bring all the velocities up. Control plus or equal, whichever one that floats your boat. We're gonna take one of these little hands there, and then we're gonna bring it all the way up. So now everything is at the same level. Alright, so now let's go ahead and unselect everything. So it should sound a little louder. Now we can go back in our mix window later on, so we can adjust all the volume. We can actually do it through the virtual instruments by adjusting all the volumes. Make sure everything is in the green. We do not want to clip on anything. So let's play it back. Okay, sound good. Let's go ahead and hit the control and plus again to go back to our edit window. Now we're going to add our hi-hat. So the same process goes. So basically everything is redundant. So let's go ahead and hit our insert. We're going to go down to multi-channel plugin, instruments. We're going to go down to expand. Now let's go ahead and go to drums, and then we're going to choose the hi-hat menu. Okay, let's hit number 3 to record it. Okay, let's see what we got. Let's hear how it sounds. Okay, let's go ahead and highlight this so we can go to our event operation and quantize it there. We're going to hit option 0 to bring our event operation, and then we're going to hit apply. So while we're there, we're going to go ahead and hit control plus to bring our MIDI editor windows up. So now we're going to take one of these little hands and bring them all the way up, so that way everything has the same velocity like I said before. Let's hear how it sounds. Okay, everything sounds pretty tight. Now we're gonna add our bass. The music is coming together. So now all these I am doing using just one finger, except when I was adding the hi-hat, but everything is just one finger. So let's go ahead and add our bass in there. Same process, insert, multi-channel plugins, instruments, we're gonna go down to expand, and now we're gonna choose a bass. Let's go down to basses. Let's go to the first one and see and hear how it sounds, then we can choose something else from there. That sounds pretty good, but I want something full finger bass. I like this one better. It sounds a little bit natural. Okay. Let's pick a pattern for it. Okay, I like that. So let's go ahead and put it down. Hit number 3, bam. So let's go ahead and quantize it. Let's highlight and let's bring our event operation. We're gonna hit option and 0. Event operation shows up. Make sure that quantize is selected and then hit apply, and we should be good there. And while we're at it, we're gonna go to our MIDI editor. So we're gonna hit control and then plus. Now let's go ahead and get rid of this for now. And we're going to take one of these little hands here. We're gonna bring all of our velocities up. So at this point, it's going to be very, very loud. Right there. We don't need this one. So it should sound like there again. This one we don't need. We just highlight it and hit backspace and continue. We have a wrong note there. This, we don't need that. Okay, right there, this note is wrong, but we can fix it. There. I like it the way it sounds. So let's go back. We're going to hit the control and plus sign again to get us to our edit window. Now let's see how everything sounds all together. Okay, it sounds pretty good. Now let's get down to our guitar. Same process. Insert, multi-channel plugins, instruments, expand. And then now we're going to choose a guitar instrument. So we're just going to click down here, the little arrow, the top arrow, and then we're going to choose a guitar. Electric, piano, guitar, where are you? There it is. Okay, I'll work with that. Let's play. And so we can choose a guitar pattern. Okay, I think I like that. Let's hit number 3 to record it. Okay, I like it, but we can make a few changes in there. So let's go ahead and highlight this. So we're going to hit option 0. Here is our event operator. We're going to hit apply. So that should put us on grid. We're going to hit control plus to bring us to our MIDI editor. Let's get rid of that for now. Now we want everything to have the same velocity. We're going to hit one of those little hands right there. We're going to click and hold and then drag it up. So it should bring all of our notes to the same velocity, so everything can sound the same. Let's change this note here. Now we're going to drag this note in a different spot. There's a little bit of mess here. Let's remove that. Let's highlight this, and then we're going to hit our backspace button to delete that. Let's see how it sounds now. There we go. This is exactly what we need. Let's change this to that. There we go. Let's change this note. Let's take this one off. Let's highlight this. We can extend this one a little bit there, and let's see how it sounds. This one can be extended a little bit more so it could sound better. There it is. Now let's go ahead and duplicate this note here to give it a little bit of a harmony. We want to hold the Option button to duplicate it. If we just grab it and move it somewhere else, it's just gonna move completely. But if we hold the Option button, then we can duplicate it. So let's see how it sounds now. Okay, now the top note, we can actually put down the velocity on it a little bit so it's not equal with the bottom note. So let's go ahead and put this one down to about 90 or 88. Now you can hear it, but it's not so loud. Now this one here, we can actually duplicate that one as well. Let's hit the Option right there, and we want to bring this down to about 88. There it is. So let's listen to both of them at the same time. Okay, so that's exactly what I mean. Let's go back. Let's go to our mix window so that way we can actually give each of these instruments their own volume. Matter of fact, we're gonna start with expand and see how they sound inside expand so we can adjust the volume there. So for the kick, we want to make sure we keep everything in the green. So I'm pleased with that. Now let's go grab the snare. Okay, I'm pleased with that. Let's go ahead and grab our hi-hats. Okay, I'm pleased with that. Let's go ahead and grab our bass. With that, let's go ahead and grab our piano. I'm pleased with that. let's go ahead and grab our guitar, which is the loudest. Pleased with that. So now let's go ahead and hit Command equal. So that's going to take us to our mix window. Now from there we can actually do a little bit more adjustments. Let's go ahead and create ourselves a master fader. So we're gonna hit Shift Command N, and then we're gonna hit the command button, and then we're gonna use the left arrow key to put on stereo. We're gonna use the bottom arrow key to change the nature of the track. So now we got master fader selected, and we're gonna hit enter. So right here we can see what is happening there while we're making our adjustments. So let's go ahead and play this. Again, we want to keep everything in the green or -6. -6. This is exactly where we need to be right here. There it is. -6. This is our sweet spot right there. Now at -6, you give yourself plenty of headroom. This is basically how you make a beat, even if you don't know how to play an instrument. I mean, as you can see, I did everything with just one finger playing my keyboard. Now we can add more instruments if we want to. Let me go ahead and highlight the piano so I can put something behind the piano. Let's go ahead and hit Shift Command N. Like I said, stereo. We're going to hit Command left arrow, and then we're going to hit the bottom arrow to take it to instrument, and then okay. Let's go ahead and go to Insert. Multi-channel plugin. Let's go down to instruments, and we're going to choose expand again. This time let's choose mullet. Matter of fact, let's go to a mullet. Let's choose this. Enable your recording button. Let's choose something else. Let's see what it sounded. I like that. Okay, let's go ahead and play that. Let's hit the number 3 and record it. Here we go. There it is. Okay, let's go ahead and play that back. Let's go ahead and bring our even operation to quantize it. So we're gonna hit Option and 0. We're gonna hit Apply. While we're there, let's bring in Editor, Control plus, and we're going to bring the velocity up for every one of them. And there, I think we play everything perfectly. And now let's hit Control again and plus. Now let's go to our mix window. Command equal, so we can put it under the music. Let's play it. Let's drag it down. And notice, everything is still at -6, so I do not sacrifice anything at all. Just keep everything at -6 because you need that much headroom for your mixing. So let's change this instrument here. We're gonna go ahead and put keys. Enter. Okay, now the next thing I would like to show you, we want to make sure that we organize everything. So we're gonna put all of our drum set, we're going to colorize them, right? So we're gonna go ahead and hit the first track, which is the kick drum. We're going to hit shift, and we're going to hi-hat, which is the last one in our kick drum. So let's go to our edit window, command, there you go, and there on this side here, we're going to where it says color track. So if you wave your mouse right there, it should say color track. So, and we're going to double click that. Now I love to color my drum tracks red, and then from there we're just going to select our bass. Let's go ahead and throw blue on that, and our piano keys, we're gonna hit the shift and then click keys, and we're going to go ahead and put a yellow on this one, and our guitar, let's put a dark red in there, and it kind of help us, you know, to know exactly where they are. We're gonna go ahead and throw another track in here. This time is going to be a drum track, just so we can fill it up a little bit more, just to give our music a little bit more depth. Let's go ahead and hit the hi-hat, which is the last track on our drum tracks. We're going to hit shift command N, and we're going to hit command the left arrow key to put it on stereo, and then the bottom arrow key to put it on instrument, and then hit enter. Let's go to our drum side sticks. Let's see how that sound like. That'll work. So let's go ahead and hit number 3 to put that in there. Let's go. There it is. Okay. Let's control that right here. Please with that. Okay, let's highlight this, and let's go to our event operation. We're going to hit our option 0. Let's quantize that baby right now. And then while we're there, we're going to our media editor. We're going to hit control and plus. We're going to bring the velocities up. Let's get out of here, and then we're going to go to our mix window. We're going to command equal, and now let's go ahead and control the volume here. There it is. That's all there is to it. It's not rocket science. There it is. I want everything to be very, very bright. Okay, the color that I just changed. Now in the color palette, if you look at this little button here, if you click it, everything is basically gray. But if you activate it, then you bring your saturation all the way up to darken them up, and then the brightness, you just bring it all down. If you bring it up, then everything is pretty much kind of like washed up, but you bring it all the way down so everything looks really dark. Now I'd like to change the guitar color to make it different from the master fader, so I want to go ahead and reselect that, and let's do something that's a little bit lighter, or around that. There you go, that worked perfect. And here you go, gentlemen, that's pretty much it. Command equal to go back to our edit window, then you have a music. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and check the bell icon so you don't miss out on future uploads. Thanks. Thank you for watching, and later YouTube.